Woof woof, Lamar. It's Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 75. Time for another one of our showdowns, where we compare three movies with a similar theme to see which one we think is the best. And what do we got today?
Well, to commemorate Memorial Day, we have to give a special shout out to the unsung heroes. We don't hear them unless they are chasing bad guys or barking people down. We are honoring cop dogs, and we have compared three movies with cop dogs in them. Interestingly enough,
the dumbest genre or subgenre of movie ever.
we have to. It's a subgenre of the genre of, I guess, pets, and then like pets doing amazing things. But then you have this cop dog where like the cop dog teams up with an actual cop.
Yeah, it's a buddy cop movie. They took the buddy cop scenario of a policeman that can't get along with anybody.
Right.
And now you have a dog, and we're going to put them together. It's a buddy cop movie.
It's a buddy cop because everyone likes dogs. Everybody likes cops for the most part. And it's a winning boom. Yeah. So.
Well, we have Turner and Hooch,
yes.
Canine, and Top Dog. So, in our categories, what are the categories?
The categories are overall plot.
The plot.
Then the chemistry between the cop and the dog.
Yep.
Then the appeal of the dog. And then we're going to talk about the villains.
Villains.
I think that's a particular thing in these three movies. We're going to talk about that later because we have some interesting villains that we saw in these movies. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll get into the plots then so we can do our vote. Yes. I know which one I'm voting for.
For the plot, for the overall plot.
But
okay.
The general plot of Canine, let's say, it's very simple. You have Dooley, who's Belushi.
Yeah.
He's just trying to solve narcotics. There's like a drug dealer. He's trying to bring him down. They're trying to kill him. He needs a dog to sift out narcotics. He gets hooked up with Jerry Lee, the dog, who's a dog that he's a little odd. He doesn't quite get along, but he's a good police dog.
Yes.
And he links up with Jerry Lee, and at first they clash, and blah, 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 blah. That's the overall plot of that one.
Yes.
Simple. Mm-hmm. Then Turner and Hooch.
Yes.
Also very simple. Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
He, a friend of his who's an old man that's been witnessing a lot of criminal activities across the way from where he lives on the pier or whatever. Yeah. Well, the old man gets murdered by the criminals. Tom Hanks takes in his dog who witnessed the murder. And of course, he's a neat freak.
Yes.
He's a perfectionist. So to all of a sudden get thrust with this dog, it's, supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
But Lamar, tell us about Top Dog.
Wow. So Top Dog. There are these. It's in San Diego, right? San Diego is pretty much full of white supremacist terrorists, and they're throwing down, man. They're blowing stuff up and everything like that. And there's a police detective, of course. He has a dog and he has a grandson, but his dog is his partner. Yeah. And they go to investigate this, and the dog actually witnesses, the actual detective gets shot when he's investigating things. And I think the dog also gets...
Yeah, they shot the dog too.
They shot the dog.
Reno
in this, we're going to call it family friendly because this movie, boy, oh boy. But the dog survives and teams up with no other than Chuck Norris, who's a bad apple of the force. And they team up to go up against white supremacists.
And that's where my vote is going for best plot. I will say this. Turner and Hooch is probably the most well-crafted of all the movies.
It is, yes.
But the plot for Top Dog is so preposterous and crazy that's where my vote is going.
You know what? I agree with you because, Turner and Hooch is a good movie, but
yeah,
Top Dog, it hooked me because I had no idea it was gonna go that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's white supremacists. They're teaming up to just destroy diversity. That's their goal in this movie. Yeah. So Top Dog, Turner and Hooch is great.
Yeah.
But Top Dog is just fucking bananas. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Man. It's out there. Well, Top Dog off to an early 2-0 start here. Let's move on to the next category. The cop dog, the human dog relationship in the films. What do you think there?
I have to give it to Turner and Hooch because the thing is that you have Tom Hanks' character who's very, he's not like a badass or anything like that. He's kind of like OCD by the book and everything like that. Hooch is more like rough. So his character is kind of like challenged. So they have to wrestle with like each other and everything like that. In Top Dog, Chuck Norris is like an asshole. Like this is the first time I've seen him as a jerk. Like he's a misogynist. He has a very interesting scene where they bring in, the woman who's a cop and the dog. And he was like, "Is this my partner?" And then they were like, "No, this is dog, your partner." He's like, "I wouldn't work with a woman, let alone a dog." I was like, "Oh, yeah."
There's some weird shit in that movie.
And then K-9, I feel like Jim Belushi was trying too hard to be that, wisecracking cop. So
he was very over the top. Yeah.
Yeah. So their relationship didn't mesh for me. So I would give it to Turner and Hooch because I like their dynamics and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do agree. Once again, I'll say the same. Like, I agree. Turner and Hooch, the arc of the relationship between him and Hooch was the most well crafted. But I did like K-9 the best because they had more gags.
Oh, well, yeah.
I like the gags. Like, there was a stupid scene, but I laughed because of how stupid it was. Like, he wants to give the dog a bath, but the dog won't take a bath. So he just straps him into his convertible car and runs it through a car wash, effectively ruining the inside of his car.
Exactly. That's why he's an asshole. So it's like...
But there's so much stuff that's stupid like that in that movie that I thought it was funny. So that's why I'm voting for their dynamic was almost the same. It was like Jim Belushi was going against himself in a way.
Exactly.
They were both, obnoxious. So we have 2 points for Top Dog, 1 point for Turner and Hooch, 1 point for K-9.
Yes.
And we move into the next section. The appeal of that dog.
This one's tough.
Yeah.
For me. Because I feel like they didn't give like Jerry Lee enough to really do stuff.
Right. Actual police dog.
He's an actual police dog. They didn't give him. And then it's between, for me, it's hard. It's between Top Dog and Turner and Hooch.
Okay.
Because Hooch is just, of course, like this crazy ass dog. But Top Dog, this dog damn near does everything. Like, he's just like, he sniffs out bombs. He bites people's necks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, he's just like, and he's a sheepdog.
Yeah.
That's not a typical cop dog.
Right. That was kind of a cool thing about it,
and then he's supposed to be real smart and everything like that. And it's like, I don't know. It's a hard one between those. Who do you pick?
I'm picking Hooch. I like Hooch because he's got character. He's that junkyard dog. He's got the drool. He's got just a expressive little face, and of the three dogs, he looks like he was the least trained.
That's part of it too.
The other dogs look more trained, and he looked like Hooch, like you'd expect. Like he was that like junkyard Hooch. Dog.
Oh man. I'd have to give it to Hooch.
You're going Hooch? Okay.
I'm going Hooch because but Top Dog, it was like, what the fuck? This is a cop dog? That was what's interesting to me.
Right. Who was in real life, the dog's name was Betty and had done some other movies like Dennis the Menace. So yeah. It's a female dog. All right, so 2 points for Top Dog. Now we have 3 points for Turner and Hooch, 1 point for K-9, going into the last category of villains.
I know who I'm voting for, but I'm going to break down all of the villains. Yeah. So Turner and Hooch, they're smuggling out money and stuff like that. So it's kind of generic. And then there's a twist. We won't ruin the twist.
Yeah, the twist is what makes that good.
That's what makes it good. Then we go to K9. It's this guy who's like a drug dealer. He's very posh. He's very, you can't get me, that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Top Dog. It's the Rainbow Coalition of White Supremacists. Wow. Like, okay, what were all the groups? The KKK.
They were like the KKK, the Aryan Nation, and like some kind of church of something, like the church. I don't know. They were trying to unite all the white supremacy groups. And their overarching plan to do this is to blow up an event that was for like racial unity and like kill a priest, a rabbi, and some other guy. Like it was outrageous.
Here's the thing, Joe, and I'm not a terrorist, but usually when people do terrorism, it's like a random act, so you can trace it back to maybe one group.
Yeah.
You don't all get together because that essentially makes the block hot for everybody who's involved in white supremacy.
Yeah.
So you have that, but if we're going to go with villains, that I got to give it Top Dog. I
Top
did
Dog
not see
for
that
villain?
coming. And Overthoughts.
Okay. Yes, I want to hear this. I like the Overthoughts.
Okay. Top Dog movies are supposed to be a little bit, especially this one, family oriented.
Yes.
Throwing in the white supremacy thing and everything like that threw me for a loop. And then they have one of the most generic sounding festivals, the Coalition of Racial Unity.
Yeah.
I think they threw in the dog to represent the man's best friend, that the dog represents, that's, man's best friend is unity. So that's the dog. That's the unification of all men. Oh, and we learn it from a sheep fucking dog.
There you go. So the white supremacists do not have dogs? Is that
They don't respect how the dog thinks because the dog doesn't see different people. He's man's best friend or woman's best friend, human's best friend. So if they would have learned from the dog, and this is the point, kids, is that everybody, it's racial unity. We're all in this together. Yes.
I am not buying this Overthought, Lamar. I buy some of your Overthoughts, but I'm not buying this one.
Damn it, man.
But I am also going to agree with you. I'm voting Top Dog for villains because it's so crazy. Like, just from the start of the movie when they just started immediately with, like, the police report, and they're like, white supremacist groups. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's where this movie's going.
Here's the thing, Joe. This is a children's film, and they start off with that and blowing up a building.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whoa.
You gotta teach them early,
Oh, well, and also scar them early. But that was deep. So
it was at least the most colorful ones, because the villains in the other two movies were more stock.
Oh yeah,
they were pretty standard. Well, that gives us a clear winner. Top Dog wins with 4 points. Turner and Hooch came in second with 3, and K9 got 1 point.
Yeah,
so Top Dog is our winner of the Cop Dog Showdown.
Reno, 2 paws up.
There you go.
Wow, I just still can't get over Top Dog. It's basically a movie about white supremacist groups being thwarted. Did not see that coming.
There you go. The Cop Dog Showdown. Peace.
Deuces.